Hi friends, hope you are doing well. I am Dr. Ganguli. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss my YouTube journey, and essentially after reaching 4,000 subscribers I thought I'll share my YouTube journey with all of you. And essentially this is not only useful for the viewers but also any of you if you are planning to start a YouTube channel, or if you are a YouTuber, then you will of course compare notes with this. Maybe you can in the comment section leave some information about your own journey and so on. So let's begin. So essentially I posted my first video in December of 2020, and this video was why you should write research papers. And how did I start this process? Essentially over several years I have been giving advice to people, particularly students, young people, and some of them told me, you have a lot of knowledge, you speak relatively well, why don't you set up a YouTube channel? Of course, generally when we think about people in YouTube, we think about relatively young people, so generally it's not considered normal for older people to be on YouTube. So I thought maybe this is not my game. But then during the pandemic there was a lot of free time, especially during the weekend, and so I looked up some videos about how to shoot videos on YouTube, and then I basically figured out using my phone to make videos. And once I had figured this process out, that you can essentially use your camera in video mode to record yourself, you could essentially then make videos. So at first I was using the front camera of my phone, and later I figured out from some people that you should actually use the back camera of your phone because that is much better. And initially I was using the iPhone 7, and later I started using the iPhone 12. So some of my older videos, if you see me, you will see that I'm looking at my face in the front camera, and therefore it doesn't seem like I'm looking at the camera itself. Now later I figured out that when you're using the back camera, it's actually easier. You need to just look at the camera itself, and that will take care of the remaining things. Now once I had started making some videos on publishing papers, how to revise a paper, how to submit papers to journals, how to write review papers, and so on. Also I started getting requests from some people. So some people asked me to make videos on H-index, on citation, and postdoc. And what happened is that my postdoc content essentially took off. So this was very surprising to me because I had never thought the postdoc content will take off. In fact, some of my younger relatives, my son, my nephew, niece, they were all telling me, why don't you make content about how to get good grades in high school, about how to get into JEE, about how to get through exams such as the SAT and the GRE if they are trying abroad, or in India exams such as the GATE, JEE, and so on. So essentially I spent some time making videos on that, and then I went back to my basic content about making videos on PhD and postdoc related topic, as well as on how to succeed in university system and post PhD careers. So this was the domain where I had the most knowledge because I had been a professor for a pretty long time, and I had also been a researcher who had published a lot of papers in journals and also gone to conferences. So one of the advantages of YouTube is that you can get information from real people, and essentially these are people who have actually traveled the path. So I have actually got fellowships such as Humboldt, Fulbright, and so on, so I can give you first-hand knowledge on some of these topics. So that's some of the useful aspects of this YouTube journey. Now, according to the advice of some of the people, I was also making some videos on vocabulary, on English, on IELTS, and some of these factors, but these videos didn't gel much with people. And of course I later realized that there are much bigger experts in all these fields who are making videos, and so probably people are going to those forums to see these videos. So essentially I gravitated more and more toward the PhD, the postdoc content, but I also had to keep in mind that many of my viewers are actually high school students and bachelor's degree students and also master's degree students, and my videos are also watched by a lot of parents. So essentially these people try to get guidance from my videos about what their children can study, and so I do make videos about college admission, about data science, about whether they should be doing a master's degree in computer science or doing an MBA and so on. So again, these are questions which often plague the mind of many college students and their parents. Remember, a lot of money is often involved in making these decisions. So sometimes people are making very big decisions which involve spending of a very large amount of their net worth on sending their son or daughter to some institution. And so it's a good idea to have some knowledge about these things from somebody who has been in the game for a long time. So the interesting thing about my content was that my number one video became the video how to get a postdoc position, and this was totally surprising to me, like I mentioned before. And then I found out from some places that if a certain video is doing well, then essentially what the audience is telling you is that they are interested in that kind of topic, and therefore I started to make more videos on postdoc content and on content related to PhD careers. So of course this is a rather narrow niche, but again there is a lot of interest in this niche because there are a lot of PhD students out there and also a lot of master students out there who essentially can benefit from this content, and that led to some fringe content being developed here and there, for example related to visa, such as the J1 or H1 or B1 B2. So again, if you are somebody who is a scholar, you always have problems with visa. So one of the rituals about people who are not citizens of US or Europe is that they have to go to the consulate and they have to stand in this line and get the visa. So again, having a certain amount of knowledge about the visa process can be very useful in planning your research and your career journey. So let me share some milestones with you. Essentially what happened is that my 1000 subscribers took a long time. So I got the first 1000 subscribers on June 2022. So this essentially was 1 year 6 months after I started my first video. Now the 2000 subscriber mark came on December 2022. So that took just 6 months after the first 1000 subscriber. Then on April 2023, I got 3000 subscribers. So that was 4 months after the 2000 subscriber. And then on July 2022, I essentially reached the 4000 subscriber mark. So essentially we see that the subscriptions start coming more easily with time, and the initial 1000 subscriber journey is actually the most difficult because you need to make a sufficient number of videos for the algorithm and analytics to tell you what are the videos which people actually want to see from you. And once it started becoming more clear that it was largely PhD career content and content related to graduate school and so on, I started getting more traction there. Now let's see where some of my viewers are coming from. So essentially India, USA, Pakistan, Germany, UK, Egypt, Nigeria, South Africa, South Korea, Canada, Bangladesh, Italy, Hong Kong, Turkey, Australia, Japan, Norway, Indonesia, Malaysia, Denmark, Ghana, Russia, Finland, Belgium are the top countries here. So essentially I was very pleased to see that my content is getting traction in a large number of countries, though India, USA, Pakistan and UK are the first 4 countries in terms of traction I'm getting from. So very interesting to see that I have a lot of viewers in Pakistan also. Maybe they are familiar with my accent, so that's something very good to know. Now during this path I also made some videos on optimization and helicopter dynamics. So essentially I had some PowerPoint presentations from these which I had used in some lectures before, and I thought why not I make some content out of them and put them on YouTube. So essentially there is a process by which you can simply use PowerPoint content to make videos. So now the new versions of PowerPoint permit you to do that. So that was very interesting for me. And some people told me that you should have put these videos on a separate channel, but at that point I didn't know how to do that, so I put it in this channel itself. That's way too much work to start another channel to put these videos. So these videos are getting a lot of traction from people interested in these fields. And again, here there was a lot of surprise in the optimization videos. I thought the video on genetic algorithm or particle swarm or some fancy topics will take off, but actually what took off was optimality criteria, trust region methods, and BFGS and DFP algorithm, which are very classical methods. Now, going to some further innovations I figured out in terms of shooting videos. Essentially, like I said, I moved from the front camera to the back camera of the phone. And then some people also told me that you spend a lot of time looking downward, and I do that because essentially I write my script out in a page and I have to refer to that script every now and then to talk. And so what happens is I look down. So after a long time I figured out how to add b-roll to my content. So essentially there is a software called Microsoft clipchamp, and using this I can add these b-roll footage on my videos. And so what I do is whenever I'm looking down, I try to cover that by putting b-roll. And some of the videos which I make about different foreign locales, such as Postdoc in Switzerland or Postdoc in Australia for that matter, I essentially try to collect a lot of b-roll from those countries and put it in there. So the advantage is you will also get some motivation in your pursuit in research, because one of the fringe benefit as far as research and academia and education is concerned is that you get to travel, and that is one of the best part of the job. So I have traveled to a whole bunch of countries around the world, essentially attending conferences and on sabbaticals and on different visits. So that's one of the interesting things about the fact that you are a university person or you are a researcher. So now one thing which YouTube sends you every month is a kind of newsletter. So YouTube has a YouTube creator newsletter. So I'll just give you some sample statistics from newsletters at 3 different points in time. So you can see some of the interesting numbers here. So the first one is in October 2021. So during this month I had new subs 49, that's 49 new subscribers, total views 1164, and minutes watched 3850. Then let's jump in time forward. So June 2022, essentially I had 167 subscribers during this month, 5424 views, and 15.6 thousand watch minutes. Then again jump forward about 1 year plus, July 2023. During this I had 237 subs, 13.7k views, and 46.5k minutes watched. So again the progression is there in terms of subscribers and views. So this is one of the things which keeps YouTubers happy, is that their traction is getting some, or rather their videos are getting some traction. And the YouTube journey is kind of a very interesting journey. Typically it's good thing for introverts, because you have to essentially sit in front of a phone and talk. You have nobody to talk to. So essentially it is something which is very good for introverts. And what you get is the feedback from people about the number of subscribers you are getting, the amount of views you are getting, and the comments you are getting, and the likes you are getting. So that's something which keeps you motivated and which keeps you going on this particular journey. So this was a discussion about the YouTube journey from 0 to 4,000 subscribers, and I hope to reach milestones of 5,000 and 10,000 subscribers maybe within a year. So certainly if you are somebody who has not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so, and please spread my channel among your network, especially among people who are in college, in graduate school, and also to parents who may benefit from some of the content I make, because it's always a good idea to know what's happening with your son and daughter. So if they are going for J1 visa, or they are deciding whether they should go to Europe or to US for a postdoc, again it's a good idea for the parents to know what their children are going to experience and what are the possible ramifications of these important decisions which they make. Because One of the things which social media has done is that it has brought knowledge to people around the world. Previously, it was only limited to a few people around the people who knew most of these things. So essentially, this knowledge was limited to people in elite institutions and also to family members and friends of people in elite institutions. But thanks to YouTube, this knowledge is now out there for most people, and so people can benefit from this knowledge and make better decisions. So that's certainly going to help them. So this was my take for today, and I will see you in a video sometime soon. See you then.